My favorite thing was when they would try to humiliate us with giving us things like skin conditions or head lice or something. That was always, to me, the funniest thing.
Ma scène préférée, c'est quand on essayait de nous humilier.
With, say, dermatitis. You remember you had foot rot?
Yeah. So in the new movie, then you come up out of the water and you have these scales because you've been out there for too long.
I smell like a fish.
Si dans le nouvel épisode sur sortie de l'eau, le poisson, il dit tu crois que est-ce que tu trouves que je sens le poisson?
You're sorry you asked that question now, aren't you?
Maintenant tu regrettes d'avoir posé cette question.
Okay, prochaine, s'il vous plaît. Hello.
Hiya. You both have kids, and I was just wondering if they've ever seen any of your work. I mean, Xena's a cult show. It's something most people know. So, have they?
Vous avez toutes les deux des enfants. Xena est une série culte. Est-ce que vos enfants ont déjà vu votre travail, Xena en particulier?
I have one. Yeah. With Iris. I let my daughter Iris watch the episode where Gabrielle has the rabbit.
J'ai laissé ma fille regarder l'épisode Gabrielle avec le lapin.
She's
Does the rabbit die? The rabbit dies.
The rabbit comes out with these teeth and attacks her. She was traumatized. She said, "No more, Xena, never, never."
C'est l'épisode où le lapin attaque et ma fille était traumatisée. Elle plus jamais de Xena.
So no.
My daughter was 5 or 6 years old when it started, and so she would come to set, but for her, my work was as boring as if you work in the bank and you take your child is bored. My daughter was not interested as a child, and my boys, I don't know if they've seen it either actually. They only care about their own world, you know, they don't care about your history, they want you to service their world.
Ma fille avait déjà 5-6 ans quand j'ai joué Xena et je l'amenais sur le tournage, mais bon, pour elle c'était à peu près aussi ennuyeux que si vous travailliez dans une banque et que vous ameniez votre enfant, vous regardez travailler, ça l'intéressait absolument pas. Mon garçon, je ne sais pas s'ils ont déjà vu Xena, mais vous savez, les enfants ont leur propre univers et s'occupent plus de leur univers, ne cherchent pas trop à savoir ce qu'elle a pu être votre vie.
My son likes to make his own costumes. So he takes like this giant metal circle and he makes a Captain America shield. And he paints it. And I think he would have loved it because he would have been in the costume department rating it.
You can, you can show him your work. Would he watch it? Or is it too girly for him?
It's probably not, No, he appreciates it and talks about it a little bit when what he has seen. But he saw the episode where we're in the haunted house. You know, with all the monsters and then the worms. Remember the worms? Like she's washing her hand, it's just worms.
You would think I would remember that.
It was a while ago. But that's the one that he most likes right now. Yeah.
Et mon fils, il est plutôt porté sur les costumes. Il aime bien jouer avec le bouclier. Il sait même faire un bouclier de Captain America. Et puis dans les épisodes regardés, plutôt celui qu'il a préféré, ce serait celui où on est dans la maison hantée avec serpents, etc. Tout celui-là.
La question prochaine, c'est vous.
Enchanté.
Enchanté.
I have a question for both Renee and then a separate one for Lucy. My first question is to do with the scrolls that Gabrielle writes on. Obviously, like the setting for Xena is in ancient Greece, but the actual symbols that you write in aren't in Greek. And I was wondering if they were some other language made up by the writers, or if it was actually Maori, or if you could just, even if you know.
Runes. I think it was runes. I do.
Ma question concerne les parchemins sur lesquels Gabrielle écrit. Donc, la série se place à l'époque de la Grèce antique, mais je voulais savoir quelle était l'écriture utilisée justement sur les parchemins. Est-ce que c'est des écritures prises des écritures existantes, ou est-ce qu'il y a une écriture inventée pour la série elle-même?
Actually, the prop department, the guys that led the props and created them, they would write out the scrolls for us. So I would just open it up and see what they had left for me. And then every now and then I would take a little bit of a quill and try to dip it in ink and continue on, you know, just to leave him a note back. Yeah, that was all.
C'est la personne qui s'occupe de tous les accessoires, qui rédigeait les parchemins. Moi, je découvrais à chaque fois ce qui avait pu être écrit dessus et je prenais ma plume et j'essayais de continuer dans la lignée de ce qui avait déjà été fait.
Thank you. Lucy, obviously you live between Auckland or New Zealand and America. Are you treated sort of differently by the people you receive differently? Like, do you have to hide from the public, or are you more accepted in New Zealand? Like, it's sort of, they know who you are and...
Yeah, in New Zealand they know who I am, and I think they want to just give me my privacy. They don't want to be caught looking at you, so I just feel completely alone. No, they're great. I have a new, I go up and I introduce myself now. First thing, when I go to a party or a school event or something, I go up and I force myself on them. Otherwise, no one will talk to you the whole night. So, and they're very sweet. They're lovely. The minute I do that, everything's fine. But it took me a long time to figure that out.
Vous partagez votre vie entre la Nouvelle-Zélande et les États-Unis. Est-ce que vous êtes traité de la même façon, reçu de la même façon dans les deux pays? Est-ce qu'on vous perçoit de la même manière? La Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est le pays où j'ai véritablement où j'ai grandi. C'est chez moi. Mais c'est vrai que on respecte plus ma vie privée là-bas. J'ai une plus grande vie privée, il y a plus de respect par rapport à ça là-bas. Et c'est vrai que si c'est pas moi qui vais un peu vers les gens, on me laisse tranquille, je me sens très seule.
It's a little bit different now because I sometimes write for the newspaper, and for some reason that has made a big difference. Now people have something to talk to me about, and that's a big difference. Now New Zealanders will introduce themselves to me a little bit more. Before, I think I was just a strange I'd been living away for a long time, so they didn't quite know what to do with me,
Ma relation avec les Néo-Zélandais a un petit peu changé parce que j'ai vécu à l'étranger pendant très longtemps. Donc peut-être qu'ils ne savaient pas trop comment faire par rapport à moi, mais maintenant que j'écris dans le journal, on me reconnaît un peu plus. Et puis moi-même, je connais un peu plus aussi les Néo-Zélandais, donc la relation a un peu évolué.
Hi, Renee. Hi, Lucy.
Hello.
So, Xena was a series about a true love story between Xena and Gabriel, as you know, of course.
Comme vous le savez, une véritable histoire d'amour entre Gabriel et Xena.
And so I have two questions for both of you. The first one is, which scene for you is the most romantic and love scene between Xena and Gabriel?
Alors pour vous, quelle est la scène la plus emblématique et la plus romantique entre Gabriel et Xena?
And the second one, so, well, you know that in France there was the law about the gay marriage, and since 1 year there is a rise of homophobia in France, and there is people who manifest against LGBT people, and I would like to know if you support LGBT people in France, and if you would like to be the godmother for the next gay pride, which takes place in June in Paris.
Yes,
Because
that would be so fun.
I'm one person who take part of the organization of the march, and now we're looking for
A fairy godmother.
yeah, and I think you could be the best people for be the godmother for this march. So if you would like.
Vous savez qu'il y a une loi pour le mariage homosexuel qui a été votée en France l'année dernière. Depuis, on a vu une montée de l'homophobie. Est-ce que vous soutenez les personnes homosexuelles, lesbiennes, transsexuelles. Et est-ce que vous voudriez être nos marraines pour la prochaine Gay Pride à Paris en juin?
Look. It doesn't really need, I don't think it needs to be said anymore, but I will just say it. Gay rights are just human rights. Every human being is valuable. Doesn't matter who you sleep with, as long as it's consenting adults. As long as it's safe, no one gets hurt. So obviously, we're pro-human. So that contained within that is obviously pro-LGBT rights, because they're humans. Does this really need to be said anymore? As for that sounds really fun. I hope I am in the area, because I try not to fly too much, trying to make my carbon footprint small. That sounds totally fun. I wish that would be awesome. I would like that.